So, of course I cough. It is, Sunday night? The day after the Holy Boulders final testament. So I have come all 7 years, and for the most part I am the only one from Evansville, which is under 3 hours away, to come. First year had another guy who paid his registration fee and then ended up hanging out with friends Friday night and slept in Saturday morning. And then I think it was the second or third year, another guy showed up who I had climbed with at the gym once, and other than that, that's been it. So yesterday was what they're calling the final testament, because they paid off the access fund for the Holy Boulders property. I think they're still going to have more in the future. Probably that's what their intent is. I think this year we had 285 people register, plus who knows how many spectators and people here just for the party. But I am still at Philip and Kate's property, which is right above Holy Boulders, and Philip's letting me camp here tonight, so I am his property. Might be in the frame. There's 5 kegs of beer back there. One of them is still about half full, so they told me to go ahead and drink as much as I want, so we'll see what I can do to it. I climbed, my goal was 50 problems, and even with a screwed up shoulder, I managed that pretty easily. If I wouldn't have had torn labrum, I could have easily done 75. I ended up doing 54, and that was with, by the last hour, my shoulder getting really stiff and not wanting to move. But 54. So I'm kind of happy. I mean, I know I could have done a lot more if I wouldn't have been injured. I thought 50 was going to be an ordeal. It was, despite the shoulder, I mean, there's enough zeros and ones and even twos that I know fairly well, or know sort of well enough, and some threes as well. I don't know if I did any threes for this one. I think I did a couple twos, or more than a couple twos, but I stayed in the easy range just so I could get my numbers in. I think there were 5 people that I know of doing the Circuit Master, and I finished in 5th. So, which I'm not worried about it. I hit my goal, so I can't complain too much. But so I'm just sitting here at Philip's property, and I'm doing crossword puzzles, drinking beer, and waiting a little bit longer for the stars to get a little more prevalent, and I'm going to do some star photography and some long exposure photography stuff. Maybe goof off with my green laser pointer. Got a couple ideas in mind just for some silly stuff. It is incredibly windy. It's not as cold as it was. Friday night was mid-20s, mid to upper 20s. Last night was very low 30s. I think tonight it's supposed to be mid to upper 30s. And I think it warms back up by Monday and Tuesday. It's supposed to be back up into the mid-50s. So my plan is I may go back to Inspiration Point. I finally checked that out earlier towards sunset. So I had planned on doing that tomorrow, but I went ahead and knocked that out of the way. So I think tomorrow I'm going to go check out a couple areas that I surprisingly haven't been to. Little Grand Canyon primarily, and probably the Pomona Natural Bridge, as well as I might go hike Cove Hollow before I head to Giant City. camp there, and then I'm not sure what I will do on Tuesday. I might hike the Cedar Trail, which is 12 miles. I may go somewhere else and hike. I'm not sure yet. We'll see how I feel on Tuesday. My legs are really sore, quads and hamstrings from climbing, which doesn't sound right because climbing, your arms and forearms and fingers should be tired, but it's my legs from all of the, I'm doing zeros and ones, which are more leg intensive for me, so pushing hard with my leg, and then all the down climbs, all the walking to different areas, so I'm really feeling that. I don't know what I'm going to do about my shoulder. We'll see. Part of me wants to go ahead and schedule the surgery. Part of me thinks I might wait. I mean, it's not feeling good. It doesn't feel as bad as I kind of expected, but like this afternoon when the Chicago crew that I hang out with, when they left and were giving all each other hugs, I couldn't even lift my left arm up high enough to give them a hug. So I don't know, if I were smart I'd go ahead and do the surgery, but sometimes I'm not very smart. So pretty soon I'm going to go ahead and turn off the string lights and see if I can't get some good star photography, at least for this area. Carbondale is the closest city. What is that, population about 25,000 or so. So fairly remote. I mean, it's Pomona, Illinois, so I'm in the Midwest. You can't get too remote. So, but I think I might be able to get some decent star shots, I'm hoping. I'd like to try to do, the stereotypical Milky Way galaxy with my tent lit up on the inside. I may have to do a composite. We'll see. It may not work at all. But at least it looks like it's going to be very clear tonight, so I'm happy about that. Really still just bummed about my shoulder because I climbed a lot all year long trying to get ready for this comp, just because I thought 50 was going to be pretty hard to do, and so I was wrong on that. I could have easily done 75 if I didn't have the shoulder injury, which still wouldn't have put me in the top 4 or top 3. I think the guy who finished 4th, I think he did 85 problems, and I know he had some V4s and 5s in his score. So, but I'm not doing it for the points or the prizes. Just doing it for something different. I don't like don't like climbing hard, but I like climbing a lot. So I'm just kind of disappointed in my shoulder. Every year, the last couple of years, it's been some type of injury. I'm going to go back to my crossword puzzle and chat and do some photography in a little bit. And that's all.